there everybody, it's markcrilley. I'm here on Rokko Island off the coast of Kobe, Japan. Thought I'd treat you to a little shot of the rising sun here in the land of the rising sun. I'm here for a few days speaking at a school called the Canadian Academy. They've invited me to speak at the school, and I got up really early because I'm jet lagged. And I've been wandering around, and here you can see the men fishing in the morning. I think just as their hobby. But hang on a second, I want to tell you one of the really surprising things about Rokko Island. First, I'm going to go ahead and complete this pan shot so you have a sense of, I don't know if you can get a sense of the size of this island with me just standing here talking to you. But suffice to say, it is a good number of square miles. And the twist, my friends, this is a man-made island. This island did not exist before 1972, I think is when they built it, or started building it. They didn't finish until 1992. So this land where I'm standing right now, I could not have stood in the 1960s. It all would have just been ocean. So can you imagine the amount of money and effort and time that it would take to transform this into this? And that's what they did. And there's probably one less mountain in Japan today, I would guess, for them to make all the concrete that it took to build this place. But there you have it, Rokko Island. By definition, one of the newest places in Japan. There's almost nothing on this island that predates 1992, as I understand it. But there's the rising sun, that predates 1992. Anyway, I just thought I'd treat you guys to a quick little video. I'm going to go around and shoot other things that look interesting to me. Hopefully they'll look interesting to you. And let's get on with it. Now, one of the funny things about Rokko Island is I find myself searching for evidence that I'm in Japan. Because a lot of the stuff that you see is so modern that you could kind of be anywhere. And it takes a while to find, oh, what is this? Japanese lettering. There we go, some proof. At the Kobe Sea Bus. Must be some sort of boat transportation service, but you know me, I'm always focused on the vending machines. When it comes to Japan, Coca-Cola, we're not going to look at that one. You could find a Coca-Cola vending machine, but you're not going to find a Suntory vending machine in the United States. You're not going to find, well, I'll tell you, you're not going to find Bickle soda, are ya? Maybe I've just told a lie. You tell me, guys, if you've seen Bickle soda. This Boss Coffee. I remember Boss Coffee. I'm going to sound like a guy from the old days. I remember when they first debuted Boss Coffee. I was teaching English in the north of Japan, a city called Morioka. And yes, it says right here, Boss. Boss is the boss of them all since 1992. Yeah, I was here. Boy, how exciting is that? How desperate am I that I'm devoting a segment of this to Boss Coffee? But don't you like the look of the guy? If you drink Boss Coffee, you're gonna look like a man with a pipe. I thought all you anime fans might enjoy seeing this. Looks like a poster for a art exhibition featuring Evangelion characters, or as you say in Japanese, Evangelion. So yeah, I didn't get the chance to see this exhibition, but it looks pretty cool. Certain parts of Rokko Island seemed like they were designed to have a European flair to them. It really is sort of an international community here. So you can see this, looks like Roman style. And over here is the Café de la Rivière. right here in Japan. Like I was telling you, sometimes it's hard to find evidence that you are in Japan, and this is not going to give you very much more, but I just thought I had to film it. A big piece of concrete that says, "Let's run." Well, now this, once again, is not going to give us too much evidence that we're in Japan. The Kobe Fashion Museum, and I'll be honest, I've never actually been inside the place, but it does give us evidence of one thing, and that is an alien invasion that clearly took place back in the early 90s. And they decided to take the mothership and just build it into the architecture. It really is pretty impressive, I gotta say. Now, if you ever do visit Rokko Island, make sure you don't miss the world-famous sculpture of the humanoid rabbit and the humanoid bird lady sitting and talking to each other. And for some reason, if you can read the kanji, it is called spring. I don't know, does this make you feel like spring? Does it say spring to you, people? It sounds a little creepy to me, I'll be honest. Here's an interesting piece of street art that I happened to walk by. But the real reason that I decided to start shooting over here is I want to talk a little bit about Rokko Island and how, you know, I imagine it was built and opened with great fanfare back in the early 90s, and it was probably like a glittering brand new shopping mall or something back then. But that was a number of decades ago, and certain parts of the place really start to look a little bit like an apocalyptic movie or something, because the weeds have started to come in, and it sort of makes me aware of the fact, actually, that elsewhere in the world, when you're in a place like this and there are no weeds, you got to tip your hat to the workers that are removing those weeds. That stuff doesn't just happen by itself. But yeah, I do sort of, it's kind of a shame. Certain parts of the island make you feel like it's the year 2053, and you expect a bunch of old men to be sitting around talking about the old days, the days before the cyborg wars, when society collapsed. But who knows? You know, it has a certain kind of an aesthetic to it, actually. I could get used to it. And here we are at Feel Dining Cafe and Sea. I guess you get a view of the sea. That's what they're trying to sell you here. But the real reason I'm standing here is I want to tell you that Rokko Island is home to the world's largest "Yes, we are open" sign. It's like the size of a small car. And the plot twist, they're closed. They are closed. Such are the risks of making a "Yes, we are open" sign at this scale. It's too big for you to flip around to the side where it says, "Sorry, we are closed." I suppose this qualifies as proof that I'm in Japan. A little sign all in Japanese telling you to clean up after your dog. I'm sure they're like, "Look, we can barely even handle the weeds. If you start adding your dog's poop on top of it, the whole island is going to go to pieces. Think of the weeds." I wanted to have at least one shot in this video where I pay tribute to the fine folks who brought me here to Rokko Island. It is the Canadian Academy, a wonderful school where you can see students from all over the world coming together and taking classes. And this is, to be honest, my second time here. About 4 years ago, they brought me in to speak, and I guess I didn't completely blow it. They figured it was good enough to bring me back a second time. So hats off to you, my friends at the Canadian Academy. I really do appreciate you flying me halfway around the world to speak at your school. I was saying earlier in the video about how sometimes it's hard to find proof on Rokko Island that you are actually in Japan, but ironically it's here at the Canadian Academy that you find real proof of Japanese traditional architecture. I love this little beautiful entryway that they put in here with a little bench included. It almost looks to me like the world's most beautiful bus stop or something. And then they've got this nice bronze sculpture up there of, what is it, a hawk? I'm gonna have to ask someone later on. Maybe I can splice in the explanation of it. But there you go. There's your proof. It took the Canadians to bring traditional Japanese architecture to Rokko Island. All right, now this is interesting to me. This wall here really looks to me an awful lot like the kind of foundational walls of a traditional Japanese castle, you know, something that would have been built centuries ago. But of course, this is Rokko Island, so this wasn't built. This was built like a couple of decades ago, but it sure does look like the real deal. So there you go, folks. This is maybe the oldest looking thing that I have found on Rokko Island. So this is another piece of public art here on Rokko Island. You know, I guess I was having a kind of a laugh earlier on when I showed that other sculpture. This one called Message to the Sea by, what does it say? It looks like Ryu Kawaii. But I did want to pay credit to the people who designed Rokko Island for putting so many of these works of public art. They really are, some of them, quite interesting. And yeah, compared to an average town in Japan, I would say Rokko Island has many more works of public art, and perhaps the only work of public art in Japan to have this. Alright, well, I just wanted to do one last little shot before we end the video. Here I am at Kansai International Airport, looking across the water back at Osaka as I get ready to board my flight to the United States. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you're one of those people who has a dream of visiting Japan, I'm here to tell you, keep that dream alive. Japan is definitely worth the effort of getting to. I always have a marvelous time every time I visit. So let's go ahead and wind this one down. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.